Cool kids. What it is. How we doing? So I wanted to talk to you today about silver as a potential vehicle for your future. But I'm not giving investment advice. No. This is just fun talk between peers, like-minded peers who perhaps have certain thoughts or potential ways to think about silver and silver accessories. So, let's take, for example, this lovely set. This is the silver coins of the San Francisco Mint. And what you have here is basically a third-party company has taken a bunch of silver coins and put fancy artwork on it. A nice little story about the San Francisco Mint and a bunch of San Francisco minted coins. And this is a great example. This was apparently these are up to 1937. So I don't know if this set was made in 37, maybe. But I do know that sometimes you can get 32 S's in these sets. And here's the back page. I did not. I got a 33S. Or 35S, rather. On the Washington there. But anyway, I'm showing you this because this is 90% silver. And it could be a great avenue for you to get into the fractional silver game, okay? And that's what I'll say. And I'm not saying buy this set, although I did get this set for $65.04. And let me see what we got here. We've got 2 silver dollars, 2 halves, 3 25-cent coins, including a 1920S quarter, SLQ, and then 2 dimes. So if you do the melt value of this, you're looking at, let's do some math. 0.7734. Let me get my calculator, guys. But actually, you know what? We'll just do coinflation and we'll do the melt values on these. 1 second. So the melt value of these coins is $83.97. That's not counting any potential numismatic value. And this was purchased in the year of our Lord. Let me see if I can get it. What year was this? Is there a date on this? There is no date. Okay. I would say I probably bought this 4 or 5 years ago. So, as you can imagine, it was a good time to be in silver then, even if you were selling now. What is my point? Well, silver goes up and down. All commodities do. Commodities are not as stable an asset in recent history as equities, okay? However, that may be set to change. There will be a time, friends, when anything with actual value, so an inherent value, right? Also known as an intrinsic value. These are the safe assets. These are the ones people run to in times of uncertainty. Now, silver did not perform the way it was predicted it would in the great inflation of 2021 to now. As a matter of fact, silver has disappointed. Gold has done quite well. The thing is, though, is historically, silver and gold have high correlation. And I don't believe that 5,000 years of human history are suddenly going to cease to matter. I hear a lot of people talk about the GSR is irrelevant, and I don't believe that. Now, that's me. I'm not giving you investment advice. I'm telling you, personally, I don't see it. I don't see how it's even possible for the GSR to not matter. It's always mattered. It always will matter. It's just how much does it matter? And the fact of the matter is that in 2012, you could have done a GSR swipe for a tremendous advantage in gold right now. If you had done that in 2012, a silver to gold swap, you would be sitting very pretty right now. So people who want to poo-poo silver are missing the bigger picture, I think. Now, that's me personally. Another thing is a lot of people talk about not getting into certain types of silver. You know, we all have our preferences. There's nothing wrong with that. But I firmly believe that if silver goes parabolic, it will not matter what kind of silver you have, as far as being able to take it to the refinery and getting it melted and getting a good chunk of spot for your silver. People will want it. Now, I've heard stories going back to the 80s, back in the big times, the Hunt brother situation. And yeah, they didn't pay full melt value, but they paid really close, within 10 to 15%. And you got to realize these people have been getting their silver at face value in the 60s. A lot of the people that brought their stuff in, or it's a candelabra, grandma gave them a candelabra set, or whatever. Silver was so high, people were lining up, and they were, you know, you've heard the stories. I don't have to tell you the stories. What I'm telling you is, so all these years I've been buying whatever I could get. You know, this I got at a really good price, but I didn't always get U.S. silver at a good price. Sometimes I went elsewhere. Sometimes Canada. I want to tell you about Canada. I got a lot of Canadian silver, okay? Hundreds of ounces, okay? And the reason is because I can get under melt consistently. And it's highly recognizable. And that's the other thing people don't get. You know, they're like, well, that... Yeah, I could... If you tell me coin from Zimbabwe is too niche for someone to recognize, that's fine. We have Sigma testers, guys. I'm not even worried about that. Silver is silver. Your silver will be silver. It doesn't matter what form it takes. The atom is what matters if people value it. All right? Now, is it going to get as good a premium as Barber half? No, definitely not. But did I pay Barber half money for it? I did not. Okay, if I was just stacking Barber halves, right, I would have way less silver than I have. That's why I'm just giving an example. American Silver Eagles. If you were buying American Silver Eagles from 2020, March of 2020 till just a few months ago, you're still upside down, even though silver's up, what, 20%? I mean, you getting where I'm going with this? You buy the silver that you can get the cheapest if you're stacking. But you stack what you want. Again, it's your bet because you will get the premiums back. Now, there was a channel or two on here on YouTube that's talked about this very subject. And a lot of people say generic bullion is a great way to go. I don't disagree with them. And if you want to go that route, do that. I like coins because coins are harder to counterfeit. If you got a Sigma tester, generics are great. If you just saw my video, checking my videos. I just got a fake the other day, 2 days ago. Check it out. They're out there. They're all over. They're coming in boatloads from China, okay? Oh, let's get off of this. Let's get on to why silver is for you. Why is silver for you potentially? Well, silver has a lot of advantages right now. We live in a tumultuous world, especially in finance. JP Morgan came out with a report the other day regarding the soft landing and how it's not going to happen and where they see the markets going in. I suspect you could Google search that. there are a lot of macro guys and gals who are saying that we could be facing another 2008 type event. Now, I'm not saying we will. I'm saying we could. And if that happens, I want you guys to look at what silver and gold did from 2009 as we start recovering up until 2012. 2011, 2012 in there, and then things go downhill, right? Because everybody's back into equities. But there was a nice run there. There was a nice run in the 80s. So that's 2 runs in my lifetime, okay? And that run in the 80s, it actually started in the 70s. And I think there can be opportunities even in the barbaric metals, as they're called, and commodities. Like, commodities can be great, but the thing is, commodities go bad. If you buy bananas, they're only good for so long. Cocoa beans, you can only store them so long. Even gasoline requires additives to store. You know what doesn't require a damn thing to store? This stuff right here. So I'm telling you that in my lifetime, and I'm a middle-aged man, okay? In my lifetime, we have seen 2 run-ups to 50. And if you adjust for inflation, you're talking a run-up to $180-something an ounce in 1980, okay? And I'm sorry, if you account for inflation, we're not even close to the all-time highs, even though gold's at all-time highs. And am I saying those numbers will ever come back? No, I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying in Venezuela they did. In Zimbabwe they did. So that's the other thing I wanted to talk about with you guys. I have a buddy in Sweden, and he told me right now, silver is the highest price it's ever been nominally. So that's not adjusting for inflation, that's just numerically, because his currency there has depreciated to the point that its value compared to $1, which is what silver's trading. When he buys it in his currency, it costs more than it's ever cost right now. Now, that's anecdotal. That's one place in the world. That's Sweden. And of course, the purchasing power of that isn't what it used to be either. So there are things to think about. But you would think he would be saying, this is all-time highs, I'm out. But he's saying the opposite. He's saying he thinks that silver is going to go much higher. And I personally predict, you heard it here first, if silver hits $30 an ounce this year, it will hit $50 an ounce in the next 2 years. Now that's just, again, I'm not giving you a guarantee. I'm giving you my prediction. I also, this is just me, I believe we're going to have a major market event this year, later this year. I think it's going to be in the fall. It could be sooner, but I think it's going to be in the fall, and I think we're going to see a correction of 2008 magnitude, and I think we're going to see a major drop in a deflationary movement in everything. And I think precious metals are going to do that too. But I don't think, by the end of the decade, I think you're going to see all-time highs in precious metals. So I think there's going to be one more buying opportunity, guys. Also, if your average cost per ounce, if you're in your base position, your average cost per ounce is below the current price of 28, 35, or whatever it is. I think it's 42 now. It's moving constantly. And I would suggest holding and start thinking about where you're going to sell. I think there's going to be another drop, and I think it's going to be big. I think you're going to see sub 20 silver when the stock market crashes. I don't know that it'll get down to $11 like it did in 2020, but I do think we could see 15. I think you're going to have to decide what to do depending on premiums. Whether you want physical or paper at that time. There might be an argument for paper. There might be an argument for several investments that are not equities at that time, though. And remember, always, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. So if you have a paper contract, is it going to be fulfilled? We don't know. It has been so far. So I'm not saying it won't. I'm just saying you're going to have to think. You're going to have to make those decisions. My advice is hold physical. I do not think after the recovery from this next crash that you will ever get a chance to buy silver this cheaply again. You're not going to see it. I don't believe you will. I think it's going to change the game, but I could be wrong. Anyway, what are your predictions? Tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching, guys. I really enjoy making these videos, and if you enjoy them, I want you to go ahead and like, share, subscribe. I want you to, like I said, comment. And I don't know, man. These sets are really cool. The thing is, I do want to say real quickly about these. Someone paid a lot of money for this over melt at the time of purchase, and that happens a lot with these sets. You wouldn't believe how cheap silver was back in the 60s, and this would have been made in 37, it looks like. I could be wrong about that. Again, you guys can correct me in the comments. But if this was made in 1937, imagine how cheap this was compared to today. But also consider how far a $50 would have went then, or $1, right? So the opportunity cost, right? If this had been put into Apple stock or IBM, right? So just some considerations. But what my point is, nowadays, when you find these products, not everybody's hunting for these. Not everybody even knows these existed. You find them at the right price, you buy them. That's what I do. Guys, I've been doing it for a while. I've got several sets like this, aftermarket sets at really good prices like this. So keep that in mind. It's just another tool in your toolbox. We'll make this Silver University. Find all the collectibles of your dreams and have an amazing day. Ciao.